It's otherwise known as a Tyrant Bird. Thayer has been a thorn in a lot of people's sides around here that actually do good. He comes out and he just causes trouble. And one of the explanations and excuses that we can make for him is over 20 years ago, he was arrested with over $200 in
contradictory tableau in the theater of online personas, wherein one Rex Frederickson, with his notorious record, a shadow from which he cannot flee, assumes the audacious mantle of moral authority. Now, imagine this figure who, with troubling gusto, veers towards the grotesque in this talk of unspeakable rituals, aiming his twisted words towards the children of his nemesis, Mr. 303, and yet this self-same Rex claims a higher moral ground, positioning himself as a critic of Mr. 303 and Tyrant Bird, figures who, by contrast, exist largely to produce content rather than scandal.
Or should I say white stuff. So, yeah, he was dealing back then, and he's still probably dealing. It's the way he probably makes his money today. And we're supposed to cover this asshole, okay, making money on the internet at everyone else's, disgrace. He thinks that he can come out here, put everyone down, things like that. But ultimately, he's a druggie. When he needs to be gone. Okay. He claims to have some type of protection. Oh, how many cops are you giving weed to? Or, you know what? Weed doesn't do it, does it? That kind of protection doesn't come from weed, does it? Oh, no, it comes from crack. It comes from meth. And then, mind you, I can literally say this. We caught them, actually, both of them, 303 and Bird, okay, cranking it up with a blowtorch and a glass dildo. They've been online. I don't even think they've even taken it down. I sit there a witness. It was an hour and a half while they sit there and cooked it all, man. Cooked it all. Yeah, and how is it that we're taking these guys as any measure of right and wrong whatsoever? There is no right and wrong when you're that big of a druggie for over 20 years. Okay. Now he claims to do construction. He claims to do this. He claims to do that. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that he just makes claims like he's after all these people on the internet. He's going to clean up the internet when he is the dirt. When the dirt's going to come along, the druggies are going to come along and keep everyone else right. I don't think so. It doesn't work in reality, not even in their imaginations. But they're continuing in order to claim this is true and have continued to sit there and slander themselves. Here we have where 303.
We watch then as Rex Frederickson, ensnared by his own contradictions, throws stones from his glass house, leveraging allegations and aspirations in desperate attempt to veil his own guilt-stained past. His words laced with malice, he decries others, as if by doing so he might dilute his own transgressions. The absurdity of it all becomes a tragic paradox, the accused assuming the role of accuser, the defiler donning the mask of judge, and the predator feigning the voice of protector.
And complained all about me and how I have somehow conned people and stuff like that when he's the one exploiting and taking advantage of everybody out there that would donate to him. Oh, poor children. It's a little bit like sitting there, passing a mother of 3 on the road, seeing her smack the shit out of one of her children while she turns around with the other hand and asks you for money in order to feed him. Literally. Okay? So where did this guy get a home? Oh, big drug dealer. We did the big drug deal. Is that it? Are you responsible for that many people, hardship, and death? Really? You made the big drug deal and got out there and got a house, huh? You made the big drug deal working at the, wait a minute, motel. There was a bunch of druggies and stuff like that, but you didn't want them to sell because you had to make your money from it, right? I see. This is starting to make sense now. He stood there and pointed out all these other people that was his competition at the motel. In addition to that, the word for the motel employees was he was skimming credit cards And after he skimmed the credit card of someone checking in, he'd sit there and use that credit card and all the information off of it to order tools to the motel, to an empty room. And of course, they're going to be what? Delivered to the office, to his wife. And then they would put those up for sale. That's what the issue with the tools, as I understand, directly from the employees at the motel.
Did you do some investigating?
So are you sitting there, are you bothered by this low-life creature here, this drug addict, this person that has nothing seated in reality, cannot articulate a single sentence without at least cussing twice? Are you bothered by him? Well, you can go over and watch him. You know, sitting there taking advantage of everyone, exploiting his children. Look at this. The man can't make a single sentence that makes sense or one that ties into the next. And then you wonder how come they are always exploiting the children, virtue signaling, pointing at everyone else in order to get your cooperation, in order to get your donation. Some pretty sick people out there, folks. Okay? We're not talking about something that was going on 20 years ago. Okay. We're talking about something that is going on right now. No question about it. We know about it. These people have advertised the fact that they're in need of these things, and they've even advertised the fact that they're receiving monies. Okay, and now we know the rest of the story. Okay, now that we've got Thayer denying DUIs, well, who's going to wind up running children over? The guy that's high on cocaine and drinking and driving? Or some random character they choose online to be their victim of the exploitation of YouTube? It's time that these guys get wrapped up and go over. Now, mind you, I did mention the fact that there is a meeting. It was scheduled for November 6th. It's been moved. There was some information that came in sideways without me being there. And they decided to take a look at this information and evaluate it. And they have an interview with me sometime around the 20th or something of November instead. Okay, so this shit is coming down. They're absolutely correct. They are in major trouble. They are running scared. And the exploitation of their children and the drug abuse and, you know, exploiting other people online to try to get everyone else's sympathy. That everyone wants to kidnap their children. Oh, no more people that want to kidnap their... No. We're kind of done with it. We're sick of it. You're running the same scam again, aren't you? Yeah, nobody will hire you, dude. Yeah, because you're doing drugs?
Nobody can hear 303. Just him yell at him. Mr. Salad.
No, what's actually hilarious is a child disrupting the class, tap, 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 tap to tap, 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 and not letting up, not just making her point and stopping, but allowing the rest of the class to see such insubordinate behavior. And he's going to go to war over it. Now, we're not talking about, you know, them denying this or, you know, taking away their food or having one of these gay sex rituals with the children at school.
What? What did you say? Everybody knows that Rex here. Rex is a registered SO. And he has a long history of stalking Mr. 303's kids in public. They've been to court. And here he is up on YouTube talking all about it. Make note of that.
No. Okay. We're talking about tap, 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 tap.
Tap, 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 to tap, tap. Let's listen to that again.
But allowing the rest of the class to see such insubordinate behavior. And he's going to go to war over it. Now, we're not talking about, you know, them denying this or, you know, taking away their food or having one of these gay sex rituals with the children at school. No.
What? That was a little bit of leakage there, Rex. Is that what you're having there with your buddy Tommy as he just walked through the door?
Okay. We're talking about tap, 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 tap. Well, why can't you just behave? Teacher's not doing, oh, your teacher mispronounced my name. What? So fucking get over it. Such a fucking snowflake raising snowflakes. Drug addicts raising snowflakes. That's amazing, man. And it says here, Eric Santee, school counselor, flips out on 10-year-old. While this guy is worried about everybody going and kidnapping his children, he gives the school counselor's name so he could easily identify what school his children go to.
Why is a registered SO on the internet talking all about Mr. 303's kids, about school kidnapping, bizarre rituals? Like, it was Rex is really fantasizing about all of these Diddy tapes, I bet.
The only thing I do is just look up Eric Santee, and you'll know the name, state, address of the school, where he works, where his office is. And yet, he's worried about people kidnapping his children. Man, talk about stupid, boneheaded idiots. Oh, no, he doesn't care a damn thing about his children. He exploits them, puts them in continuous danger. If it is true that someone is after his children, why are you advertising where they are constantly?
How would you know, Rex, that Mr. 303 is advertising where his kids are constantly? Shouldn't they be with him? What a bizarre scenario. Listen up, listen closely. One must wonder, dear viewer, at the nature of such hypocrisy, how a man marred by a history of abuse wields defamation as if it were his salvation. In the end, the irony is stark, as each word he spits into the void circles back, a boomerang of incrimination, waiting to shatter the illusion he so frenetically maintains. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about this freak, Rex. Peace.